y'all. Welcome back to For the Fans, where tonight we are excited to talk about the split tribal from Survivor 46, where we got to see not one, but two people voted off and the first member of our jury. And I think it was by far the best episode of the season, so I'm really excited to get into it. Kevin, Sheldon, how are y'all doing?
Hello.
I'm great. I'm happy to hear positivity coming from Kylie.
It was a great episode. We're gonna get into it, but finally we got some strategy. We had two tribals. We had a hilarious comedy show of a competition. It was a great episode.
What's up, Sheldon?
It's 9:23 p.m.
Thanks,
Boom,
Sheldon.
he hit that. I'm really impressed because I would have been like, he just said what was up.
I learned so much out here.
Yeah. Survivor streets.
Before we jump into it, that was the funniest scene when Tim says, "What's up, Jeff?" And Jeff's like, "Thanks for the shout out, Tim. What's up with you?" And he's like, "Cool." And then that's when Q's like, "Hey, he's just asking how much time has been passed." he's
I mean, like, I'm a basic white bitch. I would have been doing the same thing as Jeff.
That's Jeff.
Even still.
What does "what's up" mean? Actually, like now I'm doubting what it actually means.
I'll exactly tell you. It's what's going on right now. We're in the middle of this challenge. What's up with what's going on? What we're doing?
Yeah. So in this scenario, what's up? Like, how much time we've been up here? How much longer till
what's going on?
Yeah. Okay.
It pertains to this thing that we're doing. So if we're having a conversation that goes, so what's up? Like we're talking, I'm like, so what's up? It means that like,
well,
so
sure.
what
I don't know it like that, but I mean,
so
we
when
aren't having a conversation, and you just
Tim's out here,
I'm gonna be like, nothing. What's up?
but like they'll say, so when Tim's sitting out there, he's not having a conversation. He's like, Jeff, what's up? He wants to know what are we looking at here, Jeff? And Jeff's like, what's up with you, Tim? And it's like, no, man, what's up with what we doing? Like,
so
I love when Q said it, and it's so that you can hear something in the background. Yeah. Jeff, that's exactly it. That's exactly
That's it. Yeah, so it was a fun episode, and I was talking. Look, y'all, I'm turning over a new leaf. Okay, I'm here to tell you I am turning over a new leaf. I'm not going to bitch anymore about Survivor. I am turning over.
No! I don't buy it.
Listen, this is what I've come to the conclusion of. I'm going to view this as a like spin-off of Survivor. Okay, this isn't regular Survivor anymore. This is like the spin-off series called The New Era, and this is the shit that happens in the new era, and we're going to talk about it in the context of the new era, and we're not going to compare it to the old era. Me personally, so I'm going to enjoy the new era, okay, as a separate entity that is far inferior to its spin-off.
I don't know that it's inferior. It's different. It's definitely different than the old.
It's different, and we're going to enjoy it in the context of what it is.
Yeah, as you should.
Look at my positive attitude.
Who the hell are you?
Well, one thing that was interesting,
okay,
I was listening to On Fire with Jeff Probst, and Jeff said that
that makes me think of a sexually transmitted disease.
When Jeff was talking, and he said that he felt like he turned a new leaf when he had kids of his own.
Yeah,
and he started looking at things differently in terms of how the game worked and the loved one visits and these things. He became softer, basically. Mm-hmm. And when he said that, I was like, oh, okay. This is the stuff Kylie complains about, but this is what you see. You see the softer side of because he was talking about.
And some of my turning over the new leaf is from listening to that, because I was like, hearing him talk on the latest episode of his podcast, I was like, we're not going back. We're not going back. So you might as well just deal with it.
He's different, and the show's different because he's different, and I think and that's fine, because It is because our society is also different. And
No, I'm sorry. I find it so narcissistic that this is the Jeff Probst show as opposed to it being Survivor. I find it gross. Honestly, like I
so
really don't like that.
Sheldon,
He's different, so the show's different. Who the hell who he is? He is replaceable. I'm sorry.
he's not replaceable.
He is absolutely replaceable.
He is not.
Everybody is replaceable. Conan O'Brien was replaceable. Jeff Probst is replaceable.
So here's the thing. Okay, so one of the things that he mentioned was he was talking about the situation with Ben and how Ben had the panic attack. And he said, in years past, some people would just see this as pure strategy. Some people wouldn't be there and be like humans, be really, really human towards him, if you will. And he said, and Kylie can attest this. He said sometimes some of those people would not be cast in the new version of Survivor.
Yeah.
In this version, those people wouldn't be here because they're looking for more human people. And it was funny because he said that because when the scene happens and Kenzie's tending to him, and they talked about how kind that was, to myself, I was like, well, that's the human thing to do. Like, that's what you should do. I didn't think of this in a strategic sense at all, because though as you guys know, I'm a very strong strategy-minded person. But I was like, this is not even like game-wise. This is way outside the game.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought that was interesting, for Jeff to kind of get into, his thoughts on the new era. Basically, that was like the jumping off point. Because for me, like, I, lean a little more cutthroat and a little more villainy.
A little?
Yeah. But to me, I was like, I almost can't imagine anyone that wouldn't have reacted how Kenzie did. Like
Russell.
Okay, I said almost anyone. I think there's just a small handful of the human population that would not just, okay, this is a person, having a panic attack and they just need to be grounded. You know what I mean? Like, him saying, I just need to hold your hand for a second. Like, he is going through something way bigger than Survivor in that moment. And so, I just can't imagine anybody not responding, being like, sure, let me help you, like whatever I need to do. And then, like Kenzie said, then you move on from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I have to vote you out, I have to vote you out. But in that moment, and, and she's like, that's my friend. I don't even think you have to go that far. It's like, okay, this is my friend, but hey, this is a human being that is suffering.
The difference, though, is that I'm sure things like this happened before. They just weren't edited to be shown on the show, unless it was a Russell saying, I don't want to see this bullshit. I don't want to see this crap.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, I don't buy that argument. And in fact, if you're really talking about diversity, this is actually not diversity. Like, you're actually saying, let's bring people that are nice. That means you're leaving what? 20%, 30%, 50% of people who are not nice.
Wait. The diversity you want is shit people.
No.
I want to make sure you understand, Sheldon, that you're on the side of shit people.
Yes. Yeah. OJ died. I'm really sad.
I'm with you a little bit there of like, if you want a true microcosm of society, then you might, you cast 18 people, you might have one asshole, like, and just let that person be an asshole, whether, and
let the game deal with that.
The last season of The Real World, I can't remember what the theme was at this moment in time, and I can't remember their names either, but you did have a girl that basically was racist. And I'm like, but that's real. Like, the conversations that came from that, and, seeing this girl, I mean, she got tore apart.
She got beat up.
Yeah, I mean, like, she literally got tore apart. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's real. That's real life. That's real world. Hence the name of the show. And not saying, oh, I want to give these people a platform. Not talking about like, let's give racist people, but I'm just saying in general, like, that is reality, is that there are people in the world that suck. And so like, I'm okay if Survivor casts somebody that sucks, because if, hey, we've kind of pivoted from this and we've got 17 other people that are really strong in their personalities or their convictions, and, maybe let them handle it. Like old Sue said, let the snakes eat the rats.
I'm with Jeff. I don't want to see people that suck anymore, though. Like shitty people. Like the fact that we have, our society is different, right? We're call them snowflakes, call them Gen Z, whatever you want. Like society is different, so these things are not nearly as acceptable as they used to be. So it's not a good look for the show to have these kind of people on there. You want more humanity on there. Now, I'm with Kylie. Ben annoys me as an individual. That's the eccentricness of it. That stuff's annoying. He's annoying, like his eccentricness, but I don't want to see another Russell. I don't, because it wasn't fun. It was fun then, but like now that's not fun, because it's not even, like Kinsey said, we take care of this human moment, and I still got to vote you out because we're still playing a game. And I think that's what's different between now and before, is that now there are better players, that they understand that we're in a game, but there are things that are not game, such as this panic attack this man's having. This is not game. Burning a man's socks is not game. It's just being a dick.
That's fine. I don't care. Like, burn somebody's socks. Like, that's the kind of asshole, like, I can handle that. That doesn't bother me.
I would rather that person not be there if I could, like,
but
pass
I mean,
somebody else.
Like, I'm good with, a Nayanka pouring out the rice.
I'm good with Jatia pouring out the rice.
Jatia pouring out the rice. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good with that.
My other issue with this is, I feel like this is a pretend world that Jeff is creating as sort of
a game, Sheldon.
Can I finish my point? That doesn't actually represent what America is right now, which seems to be the most divided it has been since the Civil War. Like this seems like an America that is not one America. It seems like an America that's two America. And I know we're going to a completely different podcast right now, but there is this world that is being created on this island that does not look like, from my perspective as a Canadian looking down at y'all, like, oh, the world you all live in right now.
But I think that's what's crazy, though, is that, like, this whole concept that this is a world. It's not. It's a game. This is a game, and we've picked people that can play well, hopefully, and represent what we want to show in this game. This whole concept that they're building a society. They're not. They're here for 30 days. That's it. Then they're out of here and they go back to their real lives.
That's a lot of days.
But like you're here, but like you're here for a month. This is a game, bro. Yeah. So in the game, I don't want to see shitty people. I want to see people that are playing. But like people being shitty to be shitty is not great. Now I know Tracy here in the comments said that she wants a lot of drama. And if the drama's game related, baby, I'm good with it. This Venus soda situation, hilarious to me. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's really, really great. Venus is a breath of salty air, and I'm here for it. I'm here for everything that she gives me. I want her to last to the very last episode.
And Venus is a person that I want on the show. Venus to me works, right? Because she's not an asshole. She just doesn't connect, but she's trying to play.
In the words of Q, debatable.
Right. But like, no, she isn't though. She isn't like an asshole in the game. Like she's trying to like.
She may be an asshole in the game a little bit, and
she's a useless asshole. That's what she is.
Jeff also talks about this in the On Fire podcast, where he says, so much of Venus, if you know her backstory, then you can understand a little bit more, kind of where she has like this tough exterior coming from. Because
what is that backstory?
She grew up in Iran. She
immigrated from there.
Yeah. I think she is the Canadian, right?
Yeah.
And her family immigrated to Canada, and she didn't have a voice in Iran because she was a woman, and so she's very big on women's rights and putting up this tough exterior because she has been silenced for most of her life. And so,
Wonder
that's
what she thinks.
interesting to know about, to learn about Venus. And, probably if you know a little bit about her, then you can understand a little bit more where she's coming from. But I don't care where she's coming from, in that I love it. It's amazing to me. She's the greatest. Okay, let's get into the episode and talk about our top 4 moments. First up being the 6 split. So we are at the final 12, and as has been done in these episodes, we're going to split again into 2 groups of 6. What do y'all think about these divides? So we get one group that has Hunter, Tevin, Soda, Venus, 4 original Nami, with 2 original Siga in Charlie and Maria. What do y'all think about this group from the
One
jump?
thing I love is that Jeff feels like 6 is the perfect number for there to be, quote unquote, nowhere to hide. And that's why this is always funny to me, because none of the situations with the 6, they always seem to work it out with no problems. But he thinks,
I'm not complaining. I love that we keep getting divided into groups of 6. I think it's great.
well, no, the reason I think it's funny, like you could drop the facade. The reason that it's funny though is because Jeff is one. I mean, which is why I said last episode or the episode before. I think after talking to D, Jeff's like, oh, because he said in this episode, with 6, there's nowhere to hide. And it's like, nah, man, like you just get the little group together. You already got the group coming in. You just do that, and then you're good.
Honestly, like it's giving less reason to mix things up.
Correct.
And I'm not being negative, but people are less incentivized to cross tribal lines, because why? Like, if I've already got this built-in 4 Namis, why would I want to? I mean, like sometimes things happen despite themselves. And so, that is what we got in this episode.
And so,
despite the game mechanics, we got 2 interesting travels.
So in this group of 6, I like that how the division. Hey, shout out to Yanu, right? I mean, the perfect plan: get down to 3, and then just move with the 3. That's what you got to do.
Literally, I think that if you can be confident that you are going to make it out of that tribe, maybe that is the path forward, because we've seen the Tika 3 do it. We're seeing the Yanu 3 do it.
They lucked out with random rock draws 2 weeks in a row, folks. Like, that was by accident.
Same thing with last season. Caleb, what's her name? Emily, and who's the third person?
And Emily.
Who they put at 3? Sabaya?
No, Sabaya was before then. I don't remember.
Split
up before then.
Yeah, if there was no swap in that one, I think those 3 had like locked in. It was the dude. There was a dude. But the 3 of them could have locked in. Yeah, they could have locked in and worked together, because when you get down to 3, we all we got. You know what I'm saying? So we all we got. We've been here. So the 6 being broken up with the 3 Yanu being together on one group, like Kylie just said, that incentivizes me to stay together with these 3.
Yeah. Nothing is telling me I should do anything different. And we'll get into it more, but I think Tiffany is fed up with her Yanu brother Q, but Tiffany's not dumb. She's not going to dump Q in this scenario, because why would she? Like, nobody is looking at the Yanu 3. We'll get into it more in a minute. But okay, so these 6 are divided up. Like I said, we have on the one group, I can't remember what color they were at the moment. You've got the 4 Nami and the
Purple.
2 original Siga. And then in the other group, we have the 3 original Yanu. We have just
Hunter,
just
Tim,
Hunter,
and Ben.
And then 2 Siga. And so you're like, okay, I'm worried about my winner pick here, y'all. Like, I was worried for Hunter. I was hoping for the best with him being with Q and Tevin, but I was like, I'm worried for my guy.
I wasn't concerned for him. I wasn't even
concerned at all.
I wasn't concerned at all because I felt like, oh, Hunter's in a great spot right here because he has Tiffany and he has Q for the 6, and you have Tim. If Tim's in the 6, that leaves 4. That means this is a Ben or Kinsey going home. If how this breaks down,
I was like, Ben is a goner. Right? Or they're going to take the opportunity to take out Hunter. Those were the only 2 possibilities to me.
But I didn't think Q would. I didn't think Q would at all because
I, in the big scheme of things, I didn't think Q would pull the trigger. Like
Why?
This episode was really, really great for Q for me. Like I came around a lot on him in this episode.
Oh, so all the things I've been saying about him?
Just as a character. Yep.
He's great.
He is a character. Like the man is providing television. Could I play the game with him? Absolutely not.
Oh, you would kill him.
Nah, you can play with him because you know that you're smarter than he is. So that's why it's not really that big of a concern.
Q is like, if you want a good, loyal ally, Q is your guy. Because if he gives you his word, like he is going to go down with the ship. He's not going to abandon you unless you abandon him.
He's also going to annoy the living shit out of you.
Nah.
I'm sorry, the consistent lectures to everybody the entire time about what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong is mind-bogglingly horrible. It makes me want to yell.
But like, I want those people, right? Because he can't win.
Oh, no, I get it. You want those people, but I can stand the man. It would be really hard for me to get along with him because he'd be telling me I shat wrong. Like it would be a disaster the entire time.
And you're just like, Q, make sure you show me how to shit next time. My bad. Tell me how to make sure you show me how to shit.
He would be very, very
how hard do I push?
Very hard for me to deal with, but as a television personality, I'm here for Q. Like last night, sealed the deal. I came around on him. You know, I still think that he's kind of condescending and possibly a dickhead, but
he's
still entertaining.
Opportunity mansplainer. He explains to women and
he is a mansplainer. That is exactly it. You hit the nail on the head. He is a mansplainer, and that is what he does. Okay, and the people that can accept it and can work with him, more power to you. But right now, he has a lot of agency in the game. So,
well, the vote's gone every single time his way. Every single time.
Yep.
But only because the girls let it go his way.
Which is what I'm getting at. Which is why you 2 are just hilarious to me by saying that you couldn't work with them. You control what's going on here, man. Like this dude is not really that. He's not good strategically. He rubs people the wrong way. He's someone that you want to keep around.
Yeah, no, just I personally can't be told what to do. So me and Q would have a hard time working together.
But okay, let's take a second. She's standing there, they're chatting about it. He's going back and forth with the girls, and Tiffany is like, "What are you doing?" And so he says, "Fine. Do you want to do the other thing? Yeah, we'll do the other thing." You're not gonna be told what to do, Kylie. You're gonna still tell him what you're doing, and y'all gonna end up doing what you're doing. Like that's how that's always gonna work with Q. Q will never actually be the one to decide the thing.
Which again, we have to give our love to Tiffany.
Shout out Tiffany.
Is running this. It's not Kenzie. It's not Q. Every move is Tiffany.
Our bad. Me and Sheldon were so wrong. Tiffany, shouts to you. This is the part of the episode where I say that. We were incorrect by a long shot. You're a fantastic player, and I think I'm just gonna assume that every Black woman named Tiffany that's on one of these shows is going to be the best strategist.
Right, and you know what? I severely estimated Big Brother Tiffany, so like that tracks. I should have, because damn.
Every Black woman named Tiffany, if you on the show, I think you should win. So that's how I'm going from now on.
That may track.
Kevin, what's up?
Well, Sheldon, we're almost out of here soon, but we got to keep it moving.
All right. So during this community challenge, we do get a lot of Q and Tim's banter. I'm confused by the alphabet game. Was Q saying, I'm like, okay, A,
You and everybody, you and a lot of them.
and then
I
the
think
next
he
person
wanted to
has to also say A, Albuquerque, B, Boston.
Yes.
Is that what he wanted them to do?
Yes.
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 And then
It
the
was-
next person would have to say A, Albuquerque.
A Albuquerque,
Boston,
B Boston,
Charleston.
C Chattanooga.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes,
So,
that's exactly how
That's
that
not
goes.
how I play the alphabet game.
How
But
do you play?
evidently, you start with the first letter, and let's say you say Atlanta. The last letter of Atlanta is A. So, Kevin, give me a city that starts with A.
A Albuquerque.
Albuquerque. Now, Kylie, give me a city that starts with E.
Egypt. No, I'm kidding.
City.
See, so that's how you play it. I've played it the way Q's played it before. The best part is that Hunter very obviously also has played that same game because he looks just as annoyed as Q when you get B Boston and B, what was the next one? Birmingham or something?
Yeah.
Baltimore.
We're like, Boston.
Baltimore. And then she said C, whatever the C one was. He's like, that's not how it goes. And then she just said C and said the same C word again. I think Charlie was fucking with him. But
Completely.
Liz and Ben really screwed the pooch. They didn't understand it like Kylie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I thought he wanted them to respond with, but I just wanted to clarify. Is that the goal Q was going for here?
Yeah, that was.
Really, really fun little banter though. Like, I do like whenever we get moments like that where you're, kind of breaking the fourth wall a little bit and you're getting to see what happens in the quiet moments.
Yeah.
And so it was fun. I enjoyed watching this challenge much more than the last time. It was better with a calm sea as opposed to, a tumultuous ocean. So I enjoyed it.
How do you feel, Kylie? I know you're a big complainer. How do you feel about them redoing challenges so often?
Yeah, I don't have any problems with them repeating challenges. I do think it is fun when we get a throwback, nostalgic, like doing, Last Gasp or the little, I don't know what they call it, the little totem pole where they, Dee's big toe won last year. I like to get a little bit of a mix up. And in the big scheme of things, I would like to see a mix up in the final immunity challenge. I would really like for it to be a how bad do you want it, hold on to the idol type situation. Maybe a little more safe for the nerves of the feet. But for the most part, I don't care if they repeat challenges and, kind of cycle through a lot of them in, 3 or 4 seasons where we're getting repeats. No big deal to me.
Sheldon, because Kylie doesn't mind it, I'm assuming you don't mind it either.
I mind it when it happens too often. So what was Simotion?
Simotion.
Like that one, I don't want to see it for another 10 years.
Yeah, we don't need to see Simotion.
Like the ones that are done too many times, and the ones that you really can't really practice at home, like this one in the water, standing on this tripod. You don't know what the water condition. It's actually really hard to practice that at home. I'm a lot more comfortable with it's the puzzles that you could print. It's that stuff that I don't want to. I want changes to.
I think on the orange side, when Hunter falls into the water, I think that his riptide ended up making Tiffany and Kenzie fall. So I am with you.
My husband, he was like, I'd be splashing all them motherfuckers whenever I'm swimming. I'm trying to make them fall off.
I think the motion, the wake from him. I think you're right. The water itself, I prefer it when it's calm, but you can't practice how the water's gonna be.
Yeah,
you just can't. And over a span of a year, you could go on a crazy day, a not crazy day. Like sure, but nobody's gonna do that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
But I thought it was fun. We do end up seeing a showdown between our girl Maria.
By the way, the oldest person in this game.
Yep. And our boy Tevin. Tevin has.
By the way, one of the youngest people in this game.
Tevin has the most remarkable save. I don't even know how this man has contorted his body and managed to stay up. But he succumbs to the pressure. Maria wins immunity. Kenzie wins immunity. And that is how we are going to be going our separate ways with these 2 safe and the other 10 vulnerable. What do y'all think about the decision that one of you're not making jury, the other one, you are?
I like that they knew up front.
Yeah.
By knowing up front, that means there's even more to play for.
There's more. When we saw Charlie's face when that was announced, it was like, shit, I can't get out. We have to win. I 100% agree. I think it's cool. It's fun. It's nice. But knowing up front matters.
I mean, my thing is if I'm going to be the mayor of Ponderosa, like I would rather have been in Tim's position and I'd rather just go home.
Why?
I don't want to. Well, I mean, I guess
not going home.
Now that the game is shorter, then I don't think that they keep the pre-jury there anymore.
Yeah, they go on a pre-jury trip.
I don't think they do that anymore.
They do.
I don't think they do anymore. I think that once jury hits that they are doing it differently now and they are sending them home.
Call Jeff.
Jeff, ring, ring. But yeah, no, I mean, if I'm going to have to stay there the whole time, then yes, obviously you want to be in the jury. But if I am getting to go home, then I absolutely do not want to stay there. Please send me on my way. Yes, it's only probably like 2 more weeks, but I don't care. Like I'm in, I feel like Tim in his position where he was really missing his family and he's got kids and a wife, like peace out. Like if I'm not winning the million, then just take me back.
My understanding is the longer they're there, the more money they make. Yeah. So there might and by getting to the jury, you're basically there.
But, I mean, I don't know how much it is, but I don't feel like it. I mean, these people aren't retiring off of this amount of money. So I mean, no. I'd rather just go home. Me personally,
I would not. I would want to stay.
I like my home. I like my family. I'd rather be with them.
I'd rather make sure I'm at jury and have the ability to make decisions in this game. No, I can't win the game, but at least I've got some part of the game.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to our second most interesting thing, tribal lines are questioned. So Sheldon, what do you think about these 2 groupings and how they handled this split?
Look, the numbers say that the vote off should have been very different last night. Right. And the way things should have happened should have been based on the majority of the tribes. And, I'm really happy to see that this Nami strong, Siga strong, even though Siga won't try it, like it doesn't exist. It's not a thing as much any longer. The only strength that exists really to me is the Yanu strong.
And it's so
strong. It's 100% a thing.
No, I'm not saying that's not a thing. I'm saying it wasn't effective.
That is not a narrative out there. Nobody was like, this Yanu 3, they're a problem. Yeah. But everybody, the Siga group is so focused on the Namis. And they are so butthurt that they had to vote out Mariah. That they got blinders on. Like
first of all, it's Moira.
I'm sorry, what?
It's Moira.
It's Moira.
I'm so sorry. We sacrificed Moira last week. Nami, time to level up. Like, y'all give us a person.
And what's so funny is because Nami's also really focused on getting rid of Nami too. So that's why it's hilarious.
Nami is like, same. Let's get rid of her.
Let's get rid of one of our people because we've been focused on we've been waiting to get here. We've been waiting to get to this point to get rid of one of us. And so it's the tribal alliance part is funny to me because this is 100% Tim's downfall over a 3-day span. Right? This is 100% Tim's downfall over a 3-day span. And watching on the other tribe when Venus is trying to I want to talk about the other tribe in whole because that was hilarious. But for Tim, this is 100% his downfall because with him being so focused on Nami, on getting rid of a Nami person and staying Siga strong, he didn't want to give up Moira's name. That was already sus. He has a 6-person alliance he can roll with to kick it, but he doesn't really trust it because he would rather stay Siga strong, which is not a thing, bro. Like, nobody wants your tribe to roll to the end. Everybody's sitting here looking at it.
Let's take it a step further. That by him staying Siga strong, he miscalculated his position within Siga. His
Correct.
better play was actually going with the 6.
Correct.
So
Correct.
what's really interesting about Tim, and this is kind of hitting on our third point, and so maybe I should just save it for that.
Say it.
Okay, so in Tim's exit press, he says basically that whenever he went on the journey, he lied to them, and that his number one wasn't Maria, his number one was Ben. But he didn't feel like he should show his cards to these people he does not know and reveal this information. So he gives them Maria's name. And so then whenever they get there and he hasn't talked to Maria, he's like, they didn't even give me an opportunity to have this conversation with her.
Good all night, brother.
They did. But,
Good all night.
In his mind, he's like, I wasn't going to reveal who I was honestly close with, which is so strange, and is also just hitting on more of just Tim is not great at this.
Well,
I don't think it's strange that he wouldn't reveal. I think he spent every 5 seconds with Ben, and it was just clear that they were together.
But then that is where he runs into a problem, because now he's in this split of 6, and there's only 2 people that would have been eligible from this, because you've got Q and Tiffany and Tim that are a part of this, and Hunter, and Kinsey is immune. So because you effed up and didn't admit that Ben is your number one, and you really just want to save Ben, now there's no choice. And Q may have had the better connection with Tim. I don't know. I don't think so. But if Q had felt like, okay, Tim is really in on this thing, like, maybe I am going to have to cut Hunter, because he is really great at challenges and we don't have any other options. Everybody, Kinsey would have been the only option, and she's immune. So instead of cutting Tim's number one, I'm going to cut the guy that is very good at challenges. But Tim misplayed it so severely.
Well, Sheldon, you said that he did not make a mistake. Q says, let's do group of 6. Everybody in? Everybody's in. My number one is Tiffany. How about you guys? Since Q was so forthcoming, and then Hunter said, I love this idea. I know what I've been doing in these challenges. Tevin's with me. They very obviously were giving the truth of what was going on. Tim says, I don't know these people. I don't know if I can trust them. I gave them Maria's name instead of Ben because I wanted to not give them the truth. Well, because you did that, my guy, all I heard was that, we're good getting rid of Ben then. Wait, you're not good getting rid of Ben then? Then why not? Oh, you want him to be, he's your real number one. Then why did you lie to me? Because I told you the truth. And Hunter told you the truth. Yeah. What are we doing over here? Trying to stay Sega strong leads us to our third point. Sega strong equals Sega Wong. Because this guy right here, this is why he went home. Yeah. This is why he went home.
Yeah, I mean, he saw Hunter vulnerable, and he was like, we got to go after him. And Q was like, Hunter? He is a part of the 6. Like, are you not down with this? And Q sees the game as such black and white. Like, there is no gray area for Q. This is right and this is wrong. There's no overlap. And for Tim to be like, yeah, but Hunter's really good at challenges. Let's get rid of him. Q was like, you traitor. You traitor. You are on the wrong television show. You should be up in Alan's castle.
Kylie, I think it's more than that, though. I think it's more than that, because it's not even that you're a traitor. It's that you just told me that Hunter's
you're a damn traitor. Not only are you a traitor, but you are also trying to kill one of your traitors.
But no, you said that
you said throwing Phaedra under the bus, you son of a bitch.
You said that Hunter was vulnerable. Hunter's not vulnerable. I'm standing right here between you and Hunter. It's basically what Q's saying. And he's like, when did we start pointing guns at Hunter? Because we're not doing that today. No, I'm the part of the 6. You're supposed to be a part of the 6. And he's like, listen, he's not me. He gotta go. And the moment he said he's not me, that's when Q says, oh, we still doing that bullshit. Oh, my bad. I thought you were down for the 6, which has 2 from each tribe, but you still want to be Sega strong. Fuck that. We're not doing that. because that is where he fucked up, like straight up. Because then you think about it, you sit there, if you're Q and you're talking to Tiffany, you're like, didn't a minute ago when we had the reward a minute ago, he didn't want to give up Moira's name because it was this exact same group.
Yeah.
That was just there with Moira.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to give up Moira's name then, and now you don't want Ben to go now? Well, bro, I mean, it's probably you then. Like,
yeah. And and I think I commented on it last week that Tim had already rubbed Q the wrong way so much that if Tim had been vulnerable, I think that Q would have voted him off instead of Moira. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last week. But
and he's like, I can let bygones be bygones. I can let bygones be bygones. Here we are again. Let's line it up again. We're taking out Ben, right?
Yeah.
No. Man, we should have got rid of you last time, dog. Like,
you gotta go. You gotta go.
Look, it's clear to me Tim might be a horrible player. Period. That's the only thing I like. He didn't handle telling Maria. He didn't handle protecting Ben. He didn't handle protecting himself. Like, he didn't seem to make real relationships outside of Siga. He made an agreement that was based on a lie with people that were clearly telling him the truth. Sorry.
And then you get to the second tribe, right?
No,
and
hold on,
Siga,
before we go on from that, I want to talk about, do y'all think there will be repercussions with Maria when she gets there and realizes that they voted for Tim? Do you think, okay, I didn't really want to be a part of this anyways, I am washing my hands, I am done with the 5 now? Or do you think she still, plays nice because that is
she buys in? She has to buy in, and she tries to probably bring in Charlie.
Yeah. She's like, you know what? I don't know what the hell Tim was doing, but this is my number 1.
Correct. Because if you look, right, we're now down to 10.
And
got
the majority.
They're a group of 5 already with me. And if I bring in Charlie, we're now 6-4.
Yep.
The person I wanted to work with the most in that other group was Tevin, and he's still in this group. He seems to have Liz's ear, and we can cut her whenever. Venus has 0 social capital, and I can't wait till we talk about that a little bit more, because I've never seen someone have so little things to move, but think so highly of themselves. So when you're Maria, I think you go back. I think Q goes and says, I thought we were voting out Ben, but Tim wanted to vote out Hunter. So we voted out Tim because he wanted to go against the 6. And then Tevin's going to be like, that's some crazy shit, man. But that's good thing y'all cut him out. And Maria's going to be like, yeah. I got this dude named Charlie. Like to bring him.
Which is easy because they all love Charlie anyways, right? And
Correct.
like, that is truly the only move, because she has no other move at this point. Like, she either stays in the minority and gets picked off, Siga 3, or she actually joins the 6 and does something. The question is, do they want to play with her? And I think they do. I don't think they're afraid. Like, there is a time when these stronger players physically, and she seems to me to be one of the strongest physically players out there, would be completely picked off. But with Hunter there, with Tevin, who didn't do that bad at all, and Maria there, like keep the strong ones there.
I feel like Maria is in the absolute best position of everybody left in the game. Like, she has the 5, there's 10 people left. She's in a group of 5 with them. And then she's got Charlie and Ben. Like, you know what I mean? All she has to do is be like, look, Venus, Liz, get rid of one of them. This is so easy. And I'm like, damn, Maria is almost aligned with every single person left in the game. She's in a great spot.
Yeah, I agree. Maria's doing great. That other tribe, that was interesting, because we talked about the Siga strong equals Siga wrong. We go there, and Charlie's like, I'm a goner, because, the way you play this game is tribe lines. And I'm looking here, and I'm the only one from my tribe, my original tribe, that's available. And then you start talking, you're like, oh, these motherfuckers don't like each other.
Literally, they were all pitched except for billionaire Liz.
Yeah. And I love how they were pitched with Tevin saying, listen, I want to be the first one to make a blind side. So, Charlie, I don't want you to go. So I have an idea. He said, first, I have to talk to Soda. Soda goes, okay, Venus thinks it's going to be you, but it's not. We doing Venus. And he's like, cool, bet. And then Tevin says, Soda's going to tell you that
It's
Venus thinks it's you. He's like, okay. And Soda thinks it's Venus.
But
okay. But we're doing Soda. Like, wait. So we're doing Soda? And then Venus comes up and says, hey, I'm willing to do Tevin or Soda.
But more so Tevin.
You. But more so Tevin. And he's like, okay, cool. But like, nobody wants to work with you, Venus. So I don't really want to do that.
In that moment, I think Charlie's like, they're fucking with me, right? Like, like this is some like really twisted plot where they've all come up. Like Liz is going to come up and be like, hey, you should try to get the immunity necklace from Maria. We're going to vote out Maria. Like that was the only thing that wasn't pitched to this man. Like, this is absolutely wild. And he's sitting there later with Maria and he's like,
is this real?
I'm okay. Like I'm not getting voted out here. This is something else.
It was one of the funniest.
Can we talk a little bit about this Venus Soda thing? Because I feel like we saw a lot of the Venus side, but we didn't see a lot of the Soda side.
Because there is no Soda side, right? Because Venus, so they come back from the vote. There's one vote on Venus, expertly done by Charlie, to make sure that if a shot in the dark or something was played by Moira, if it hit, it still wasn't him. Smart. So they should have did that last season. Caleb wouldn't have. So
yep.
Someone else would have.
Jemai wouldn't have got ricocheted on.
Correct. So with that being the case, I love the fact that when they come back, Soda's like, our Venus is like, Soda, it was you. and Sheldon, I know you don't like the lectures, but Q was right to lecture Charlie because when Charlie on his conscience feels like got to tell Venus, he's like, damn it, man. He wanted them at each other's throats. Oh, you singing strong people. Don't y'all want the Nami to hate each other? What happened?
That's why we need more mean people playing Survivor because this
or just people not saying nothing. Venus, I wouldn't say nothing.
Venus, I gotta come clean to you. Why?
Why? Just like
there's 11 other people that it could have been. Why are you coming clean? You got away with murder.
Kylie, in all honesty, you don't need more mean people. You need more people like Q and Tiffany. Watching Q,
mean, okay?
Watching Q,
they're a little bit mean. They are.
Watching Q and Tiffany at tribal councils as both Banu and then Ben breaks down a little bit. They're both like, "Can we get to the vote, please?" Like they're not. They don't really.
They have a little bit mean in them, and that is.
Well, they're here to play the. They understand this is a game.
Mean in me.
You have a lot of bit of mean in you, but they're here to play a game. Like that's what it is, and for them, they're like, we're playing the game. They told Banu, you can lie at tribe. You can lie to Jeff, right? You don't have to tell what's going on. And it's the same thing here. Q's like, what are you doing, Charlie? You don't have to tell the truth. You don't have to tell the truth.
You literally got away with murder. And y'all, for you to have this mindset of like, okay, we have to be Sika strong, and you want Nami to self-implode, they are self-imploding.
Yes.
Venus is pissed at Soda. Let it happen. This is great for you. Like Kenzie doesn't want to use this moment of, Ben's panic attack. We want to use real game stuff. And here is a game situation that we can absolutely use to our advantage. We have the Namis fighting. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like she is wrongly accusing someone, and you didn't have to say anything. Nobody had to know that it was you that did it.
Nobody.
You didn't have to. You could have told Maria, or you could have told nobody. Like, just let it be.
And so when Charlie does that, I get where that's coming from. So then you see a little bit later on, Venus. That's why there's nothing coming from Soda. The Soda just doesn't like how Venus has taken the fact that Soda was trying to distance herself at this point 10 days ago. Since then, Venus has like kind of been like nipping at Soda, so Soda comes back full force. And I know you like to say, "Oh, it's because Venus is because Venus is this little butterfly, and that Soda's just mean, taking the idol from her and whatnot, Sheldon." But no, it's because Venus is just doing too much. She's just doing too much.
Yeah. My question was really closer to what happened over the last 14 days that created this division in their relationship.
So
That really made them turned off.
from Soda's exit press, because this is specifically addressed, she basically says, like, yes, day one, me and Venus hit it off like on a real level. And then I saw like, okay, I hit it off with Tevin and I hit it off with Randon. And I see Tevin isn't feeling Venus. And I see Randon isn't feeling Venus. And so Soda says, she kind of sent out the feelers of like, hey, Randon, go talk to Venus. Hey, Tevin, go talk to Venus. And they talk to Venus and they're like, ooh, Venus isn't my cup of tea. And Soda was like, okay, well, sorry, Venus, but for the sake of my game, like, I got to go with everybody else. So, like, I'm going to keep being nice to you in terms of, like, I like you as a person, but, like, game-wise, we're just not going to line up. And Venus didn't take that very well. She didn't take that sitting down, so.
Okay, that's fair. I don't know. I love me some Venus.
Yeah, I love Venus. I mean, just not self-aware in terms of the game. Like, she doesn't have the agency. She does come across very, very abrasive in her conversations, where she wants people to meet her on her level, and her level is very direct. Like, hey, Maria, I want to work with you, and I'm willing to vote off, Tevin. So are you cool with that?
Let's go.
And Maria wants to, like, oh, okay, like, we've not had a game conversation, so let me take this a bit in stride and play a little, coy with you. And Venus is like, but do you want to work with me or not? I need an answer right now, Sheldon.
Now, I need to think, please. Help me.
And Maria, being a full grown-ass woman, is like, hey, Venus, here's my problem with you. And she gives it to her pretty direct. And then, so you hope that this is a moment for Venus. We saw it last season with Emily, where she had this moment and Caleb takes her aside and is like, yeah, this isn't really working. Here is how it came across. And Emily takes it, processes it, and makes a change. And
Venus does the exact opposite, where she triples down, doesn't change, and it's everybody else's fault except for Venus.
Yeah, obviously Maria has a problem with women that are confident and direct.
And young. She
can't handle that. And I'm like, ooh, I love you, Venus. I love watching you on the screen, but I think you're really, really leaving this one. Yeah. You got the wrong read here.
Really, this entire conversation leads us to our fourth moment, where it's time for Tevin to have a sip of soda.
So refreshing. So ultimately, do you think this is a good call by Tevin to go for soda?
Yes.
I think Tevin made an absolutely right decision in that give him a Nami. Like, that's great. Either give them one of them, one of the three girls. It doesn't matter which one, but it reduces the Nami numbers. It shows that y'all are not trying to play along tribal lines. But specifically, do you think he made the right decision with soda?
Yes, and here's the reason why. I think that his fear was exactly what he said. Soda has more relationships with other people. She's extremely social. People like her. And so, yes, I feel like I might have a good relationship, but maybe I'm being played just like everybody else. Whereas the alternative is Liz, who has who?
Or Venus.
Liz or Venus, right? And so I think that Liz is from Tevin's calculation is if I choose between Soda or Liz, Liz has nowhere else to go, and I think I can outplay Liz. And I have a lot more control in this game than Liz. So I would rather keep Liz over Soda. From the Venus perspective, nobody wants to work with her. And if nobody wants to work with her, I could still use her as a number until I deem it time to vote her out. So I think from his perspective, sipping all the soda is the only thing that made sense.
So I'm going to disagree here, and I'm going to do it from a personal experience of playing an online game where I had someone that, like, I loved him. Me and him are great friends now. We've played another game together and went very, very far. But I saw him and was like, okay, he's a problem because he is very social and very likable, and everybody runs things back to him. Like, I made it my mission for him to be the merge vote and let him be the first member of the jury. That sounds like a great spot for him to be. And I mounted a full thing against him to get him voted out. And I was successful. I did get him voted out. But then it created this whole domino effect. And now all of a sudden you didn't have that big personality to hide behind because he was gone. And I was like, ooh, looking back now, I can say I should have waited like 2 or 3 more rounds before I did that.
But why does he need somebody to hide behind? He has the 5, who used to be 6, now 5, plus Liz. He has 6. He's fine. There's no hiding. There's no need to hide. He's okay.
Yeah, I think if you're feeling good with the person, why not just let them stay and go with a person that you don't vibe with, and that whether you know it or not is coming for you. And that is another thing I'd like to talk about is we see Tevin put the plan in motion to get Soda out of this tribal council. And hey, I am with y'all. Let's vote out Soda. This will be a great blindside. Gets Liz in line, was going to leave Venus out of the plan, but Charlie, Maria, you, me, and Liz, we are going to do this thing, and we're going to blindside Soda. Then the votes get read, and we see Venus, Maria, Charlie, and Liz put 4 votes on Soda, and we see Tevin and Soda vote Venus. So why do you think Tevin did not follow through with his plan and end up voting for Venus over Soda?
I don't know. I didn't understand it last night either. Outside of he felt like he didn't want to be the one that puts a vote on his friend, even though he is the one that masterminded all of this. But it doesn't make strategic sense to me.
So, I mean, I think it's interesting. I mean, does he play it off of like, I mean, there's no one else to play it. I mean, are you going to say that it was Liz? Liz is the one that didn't vote? Or are you going to say, yeah, I'm pandering to the jury? Because those are your 2 options. And so while I don't think it was necessarily the greatest decision to get rid of Soda here, what I think is a bigger misstep is then not following through with the plan. And so I'm interested to see why he doesn't vote Soda, and if we get an explanation, or are they just going to skip over it? Because for me, the only thing he could have been doing was, hey, this is going to be the first member of the jury. This is someone that, thought we were good together. I don't want to vote her, and I know that there's enough votes coming her way that I'm going to basically throw my vote.
Was there a potential fear that Soda would play her shot in the dark and or Venus?
And that is another thought is, okay, if Tevin got word that Venus was throwing his name out, does he think, okay, well, if they go through with what they're saying and those 3 for sure vote for Soda, and if Venus votes for me and I vote for Soda, then I'm going to go home if Soda plays her shot in the dark. So Let me put 1 extra vote on Venus.
Exactly.
That probably is what makes sense, is that it got back to him.
And my favorite,
or just out of abundance of caution.
My favorite part of all of this was as Soda was shocked and leaving, she looks at Venus and says, "You did this." And Venus says, "Yeah, me. I did it. I did it all. It's all me." And Tevin quietly mumbles to himself,
Mm-mm. No.
No.
Yeah, really, really interesting there. So I'm excited to see how, the narrative plays out once the 10 are back together. Does Venus like continue on this Delulu path of I have social capital and I am running the game, or does it come out that hey, no, this was Tevin's move. Tevin made the decision. Tevin got us on board long before you ever came around to this.
I don't know. I also love that Hunter did not use his idol, and there is Hunter sitting with an idol. There is Tiff sitting with an idol. We got some good stuff still going on here, and lots of games to play.
Yeah, very, very exciting. So I'm excited to see how the final 10 play out. Let's talk about our winner picks. So, Kevin, let's hear about your winner pick, Tiff.
Of course, because Tiffany was my winner pick all along. This week was fantastic for her because being in the power position 2 different times with this group of 3, she's locked in. She still has Kinsey here, right? Kinsey is her ride or die, but so is Q. And then she wants to work with like a Charlie. She seems to get along with Maria. She has connections. She obviously gets along with Tevin. There's a lot of connections that she has. And even with Tevin getting rid of Soda, even though Soda thought it was going to be Venus, before we jumped on there, I wanted to just touch on one thing. I love the fact that Soda turns to Venus and says, "It was you, wasn't it?" And Venus goes,
Yeah.
"Got me. It was me. It was me." And she's like, "Oh, good girl. Good game, girl. Good game, girl." But in reality, Tevin's like, "No, it was not her." Because that was when the moment that Maria or Liz or Tevin get to Ponderosa, they'd be like, "That wasn't Venus. that was us." And on top of that, Venus has no agency whatsoever, and she thinks that she does, but no one's moving because she says so. So she's a very easy 0 vote finalist.
Yeah,
and
that's where she's headed.
Yeah, that's where she's headed, and she'll not know how she got there because she thinks that she's been making these money moves. But in reality, the moves are happening behind her, and they're just letting her think that she did them.
Yeah.
And I say all that because with Tiffany, she has a good relationship with Tevin. She doesn't have to have a good relationship with Venus, but no one cares what Venus is doing. So Venus doesn't matter.
I saw a tweet, and it just dead on hit what it is that Venus is like your little sibling playing Nintendo, and their controller's not plugged in.
Control is unplugged. Control is unplugged. And that's exactly what's going on. But
perfect comparison.
So back in the day, I have a little brother, and the Sega Genesis, you play Sonic the Hedgehog 2, there's Tails. And Tails does some stuff, but Tails has no stakes. Like, you can't really get hurt. So my brother would play as Tails. And then Tails, you can move Tails left and right, and he goes up and down, kind of, that's it. And my brother would do that. He thought we were playing the game. We weren't playing the game. I was playing, and then he was able to handle Tails. That's kind of what's happening here. Because she's like, Soda's who I wanted to go home. Soda's who went home. But in reality, everything else was done around her, so it looks like she got it done. I love it. And for Tiffany, though, Q's in a very similar spot. Q is not in control. Tiffany's in control. So this episode was just another great episode for her. Going into 10, she has her idol, like Sheldon was saying. She is in a spot with Kinsey and Q, along with the fact that she's in the 5 of the 6, maybe the 6 again with Charlie. She's in a great spot.
What I like, especially for Tiffany, is obviously like having the idol, but then having Kinsey and Q both is kind of her number ones is great. But what I really like is even to the 6 or the +1 alliance, let's just call it that. With the +1 alliance, Q is obviously the leader, the vocal one. And so Tiffany, not only does she have the 2 number ones, but she also has a meat shield in front of her. And so she's just positioned so well.
Agreed.
All right, Sheldon, tell us about Kenzie.
Look, I think Kenzie had one of the best episodes she's had in quite a while. Really heartfelt moment with Ben. Although she was being told by Q who the vote was, we saw her and Tiff basically saying, yeah, we're going to get rid of him when it's time, and we'll move on because we're the real two. We can't trust him. So, I love this episode for her, with the caveat that this isn't revolving around Miss Kenzie. It is revolving around Miss Tiffany. And she is probably there just for the ride while Tiffany gets to the end and hopefully wins. What I will also say, though, that one thing she has improved on is that she doesn't seem to be playing as hard as she was in the beginning of the game. Maybe one of Q's lectures worked with her, and she seems to have calmed down a little bit, which is really good, and hopefully will extend her time in the game.
I feel like Kenzie's win equity is going up every week. And every week I see a little bit more of a path where I can see a Kenzie win. And so I felt like, once again, this is a really good episode because we are in this new era of Survivor where things like relationships really do matter. And where she may have been willing to write down Ben's name, is Ben going to be willing to write down Kenzie's name?
No.
Because I could see him being like, no, I'm not going to write her name down.
Well, he has nowhere else to go anyways, so it's not even an option. But 100%, you're right.
So, like, I think that Kenzie, playing, as Jeff might say, the game within the game of just making personal connections is, kind of a dark horse where, especially whenever you are looking at the Yanu 3 and you have Q as the vocal leader, you have Tiffany, who, if any of them have half a brain and can, pick up on the type of player she is, like, Tiffany's way bigger of a threat. Q's way bigger of a personality and target. And so can she just sweep? Kevin,
Love it.
what do you think?
Kenzie cannot win this game. I know you feel like her win equity went up. I feel like she is now an attaché for Tiffany more so than anything. And that's not a bad thing. Like it's tough because Tiffany is a dominating force, and we didn't realize it. Once again, apologies to Tiffany. Me and Sheldon were wrong, and it was. I felt like this episode was great for her to get that individual immunity win, but I don't really see her winning this game.
I still hope she does not, but I can see the path. We'll see. All right. So last but not least, my winner, Hunter. I feel really good about this for him. This was a good episode in that he does not win individual immunity. I was like, please, my guy, do not win this competition because you are going to make a huge target of yourself if you take the first individual immunity because you dominated all of the other challenges. Please do not do this. And so he manages to not win. So he does not increase his threat level. He very smartly does not play his idol. And I think he has really, really locked it in with Q and Tevin as his people. And by, association, he does have the alliance with Tiffany and possibly Maria and whatever comes with it. But I thought it was good, and I'm excited to see what happens with him next episode as he has created the spy tree. Great. This is fun. We love a little chaotic Tony energy, and so I'm excited to see what comes of it and if this is a dumb move for him, because if you get caught, wow. But it's fun. It was fun when Tony did it. Will it be fun when Hunter does it?
Look, for me, this game is, I hope we're going to end up getting a great battle at the end of Hunter versus Tevin versus Maria versus Tiffany. Because to me, these are the four elite players in this game. They're running shit. I want to see Maria.
Don't sleep on Charlie.
What?
Don't sleep on Charlie.
I also love Charlie, but I think between Charlie and Maria, it's more so Maria who has a little bit more power in the game, and I cannot wait to see more of him. He's great player.
Yeah, I think he's good. And I thought his answers in the tribal council were really, really strong of like, hey, I'm a number, like scoop me up. Let me be a part of the Yanu 3. And he said the things that he needed to say, especially whenever you do have this 3 that like, as long as these 3 are voting together, they control the vote. And so Hunter doesn't give Q any reason to doubt him. I am locked in with you, my guy. We made this +1 alliance and I am staying true to that. And Q was like, bet, you're the person I want to work with. And so not only did it help him through this tribal council, but I think it sets him up well in the next one too. And not only that, but when Tim is over here pointing out like, hey, we keep losing to this man. Q's like, I can beat him. Debatable if he's better than me. When he said that, we cracked up. Like, it was so good. He is also a little bit delusional because while Q would absolutely wipe Hunter's ass on a football field, Hunter is better at carnival games.
Do you think that Q really threw that challenge?
No, Q didn't throw the challenge.
No,
Q,
he definitely did. He definitely
No.
did. Are you kidding me? Okay, go back and watch. When Jeff is counting down, he is just starting to stand up from. He was sitting on top of the house. He's the only one as they're like adjusting. He sits down with his butt on the house and he stretches his legs. And then as Jeff is counting down, he then starts to stand on top of the house. So in terms of throwing it, I don't know that he like jumps off. I'm not saying that, but he definitely was not putting effort into making the transition.
Okay.
Debatable. Okay. That's my new that's gonna be my line for the rest of the season. Debatable. It's so fun.
So we have some amazing news. Kevin, do you want to share the news of what's happening on
Yeah,
Sunday?
man. So join us. So first off, check out the Justice for Dean Thomas podcast. The podcast I do about Harry Potter. Check that out. That is coming out every other Tuesday. New episode coming out this Tuesday. In addition, join us here on Sunday evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central. We will be recapping the Challenge All-Stars 4 this season. Join me and Kylie, and we'll be here with Brandon Nelson from the Challenge. He will be here along with us as we go through what happened in these first 2 episodes, and we might be here all season. We'll see what Brandon's doing. That's Brandon, and he has a bigger beard now, but we'll see what he'll do, and he'll be here for the show this Sunday. So come back, check us out.
Get an inside scoop as to what is happening behind the scenes, because I have not gotten to watch the 2 episodes yet, but I've heard there is a lot of drama, and it will be very, very fun to get Brandon's inside information as to what was happening behind the scenes.
He was out there. He was there. So, yeah.
Cannot wait. And of course, we will be back live next Thursday to talk about the final 10 episode, where I think we're just going to see it play out like regular old Survivor from here to the end. And we are getting closer to crowning the winner. And I can't wait to see how it's going to shake out. All right, guys, we will see you next time. Bye, y'all.